Hello everybody, my name is Obsession, and welcome back to another TF2 video. In this video, we're going to be revisiting the Weapon Combos series. This will be part 4, and we will be going over the last 4 classes' secondaries. Watch the first 3 parts for context, leave a like, subscribe, and please enjoy the video. Now, Heavy has 4 different lunchbox items. He has the sandwich, the Dalitos bar, the buffalo steak, and the second banana. As you can see, all of these can be eaten by Heavy, and they heal him. All of them except for the buffalo steak sandwich. So the sandwich heals him fully for 300 health, second banana heals him for 200, and the Dalitos bar heals him for 100. All that together, this heals him for 600 health. You might have noticed the taunt that he does. Well, the taunt he does takes around 4 seconds. Since he has 4 different lunchbox items, the animation to eat this 4-course meal will take 16 seconds to complete. I like to picture a taunt where he pulls out a dinner table and he just sits down and eats for 16 seconds. Another great thing about the lunchbox items is they can be thrown to a teammate or even an enemy, and it will heal them. Now, because all of them heal 20% or 50%, it all adds up to 100%. So Heavy picks up the dinner table, and just throws it at his medic's head. After you eat all that food, it'll take around 70 seconds to recharge, not counting the 16 seconds that it takes to eat it. When you eat your lunchbox item, you can collect health packs when you're at full health to recharge some of your meter. Now, this only works when you are at full health. But since this takes a massive 70 seconds to recharge, I thought, well, let's change it up a bit. What is that doing up there? Medic, what are you doing? Did you put that up there? Small health packs reduce it by 9 seconds, 18 seconds for medium, and 35 seconds large. When you are under its effect, all damage you deal is mini-crits, but sadly, you are forced to use your melee weapons, which, as you can see, with a weapon with health drain, such as the Gru, can be very inconvenient. Heavy is one of the most ineffective melee classes, because he's very much not agile, which is why it's great that the buffalo steak sandwich grants a 30% faster movement speed. But sadly, the buffalo steak sandwich actually gives you a 20% damage vulnerability. Did you turn that into a cake, Medic? What are you doing? How are you doing that? And there's one more thing. Raises your maximum health by 50 points. So instead of having 300 health, you now have 350. It's great. So the buffalo steak sandwich effects lasts 16 seconds, and the Dalitos lasts for 30. That works out to a total of 46 seconds, where you're forced to use your melee, you take 20% more damage, you're 30% faster, you deal 100% mini-crits, and you can only use your melee. That is a blessing and a curse. The only reason the buffalo steak sandwich is even tolerable is because it only lasts for 16 seconds. But well, you guys can let me know what you think about this one in the comments down below. And without further ado, let's move on to Monsieur Medic. Now the medic, his best weapons are his secondaries. He's all about the healing, He's all in for that, all that health, and he's a doctor. Actually, he doesn't have a license, so I don't even know what I'm talking. You got 2 of them up there? Is that other one yours? Are you guys in cahoots or something? Anyways, introducing the Quick-Kritzinator. Probably the longest read. This is like the War and Peace of TF2 weapon descriptions. But I'll try to get through it all. It actually has a 100% higher overcharge build rate. So instead of filling this quickly on an injured teammate, it actually refills this quickly, which is faster than the vaccinator. It's insane. This means it takes not 40 seconds to build up a full Uber, but 20. In other words, it's 5% per second. That's really good. It's like 3 Ubers per minute, and it heals as quickly as the Quick Fix. Now, stock and every other minigun heals at 24 health per second, but the Quick Fix heals at 33 health per second. Also, it has a Quick Fix thing where if the person you're healing rocket jumps, you also rocket jump. It builds Uber charge 33% slower on overhealed patients, which means instead of 5%, it's 3.3333 per second, which means instead of taking 20 seconds to charge, it takes 30. It actually builds overheal 1/3 as quickly as it heals. So it does heal at 33 per second, but it only builds overheal at 11 per second. But luckily, also like the Quick Fix, you never actually reach that maximum overheal. So you're always building Uber at the fastest rate possible. It is considered a downside. Instead of getting you up to 150% health, it only gets you up to 125% health, which in the case of Heavy here, that's 375. And while any of the Uber charges are active, Medic and the patient are not able to interact with the objective in any way. Now we get to the fun part. Cannot wait. Alright, so the Vaccinator is very special because it allows you to switch between all these different resistances and all these different Ubers. I hope you see where I'm going with this, because it's a pretty fascinating idea I came up with. What if, hear me out, instead of being able to switch the resistances, you were able to switch between the stock Uber, the Kritzkrieg, and the Quick Fix. So you can do exactly that. You can build up your Uber at double the speed, and you can go, alright, Quick Fix Uber, Kritz Uber, stock Uber, but it's not like the Vaccinator where you can pop one, switch to another, pop that as well. You can only activate one at a time. But that's like the only downside to these ridiculous Ubers. Also, you'll notice, little shield above his head, it's a weaker version of the actual Uber. So I decided, hey, what the heck, why not? So when you're healing and you have the Quick Fix Uber selected, you get a weaker version of the Quick Fix Uber. First one is the Quick Fix, triple heal rate on the Uber, and you're immune to any knockback and slowness. But when you just have it selected, see, this is your Quick Fix Uber, but then this is your passive Quick Fix healing. You get a 35% higher healing rate, so instead of going 33 per second, it's 45 per second. Next up, you have your Kritzkrieg Uber. When activated, you get 8 seconds of guaranteed crits. Just for your passive crits, you get mini crits. And last but not least, we have stock invulnerability. Kind of like the crits, you get 8 seconds of invulnerability to all damage, but with the passive healing, with that selected, your healing patient and yourself gain a 35% damage resistance. I think this is a really cool concept. I love it. I really want this to exist, but I don't know how to do that. I've tried. So if anyone knows how to actually make any of these weapons, that would be awesome. It's kind of a call to join my Discord server and maybe even become a channel member. The first one's free. The second one only costs $2.99 a month, and you do get early access to all my videos, and I will reply in great detail to any comments you might leave. So what are you waiting for? Get into contact with me through Discord, which I will leave in the description. And also, please, become a channel member. Like, come on, guys. Become the first channel member. Come on, boys. Let's move on to the sniper. Boom. Next up is the Armored Backpack for the Sniper. Now, the Armored Backpack generates a anti-spy shield that blocks a single backstab, shocks the spy, meaning it can't switch weapons for a couple seconds, and then the shield breaks and recharges over 30 seconds. It also gives the sniper a 50% fire damage resistance and a complete immunity to afterburn, kind of like how the Pyro doesn't take any afterburn. Also, when you're wearing this beautiful backpack, you don't flinch when you're damaged while scoped in, but only when your weapon is fully charged, and you take 20% less knockback, and you regenerate up to 4 health based on how long ago you took damage. Finally, a wearable that has a downside, you can't be overhealed at all, which means it's really, really good for medics. But whatever, it's not about balance. We all know that. I also thought, what the hey, you know, Cozy Camper has a Durati on it that you can't even use, even though you have an empty secondary slot. I'm pressing my number 2 key right now. Okay. Armored pack. You wear it. You hit number 2, and you pull out your number 1. So yes, TF2 fans, you have asked and I have delivered. The Cozy Camper gives you Durati. And you all know about Durati, but you throw it, you take mini crits, you take mini crits. There we go. If you're on fire, it extinguishes you, but you won't be on fire, so it's just your teammates. If your teammates are on fire, you can extinguish them. And finally, a fever dream of a weapon that took me way too long to wrap my head around. Like, I had to try to combine 3 things that were screaming at each other. We are not the same. Please don't rip us apart and stitch us together into one Frankenstein's monster of a watch. Ice to meet you. That's right. Get down and give me 20. I don't see you doing push-ups hard enough. Come on. You're not even breaking into a melt. Spies watches are really weird and it sucked to try to combine them, but I did it. I did it for you guys. I went with a nice democratic best 2 out of 3. So the dead ringer only activates when you take damage, but the other 2 activate when you right click. So I made it so you activate the dead ringer when you right click. Of course, it's more complicated than that. The implications of this are that you can only turn invisible. You can only cloak when it's fully charged. Activating it immediately gets rid of half of your cloak meter. It gives you damage resistance while cloaked, scaling from 75% resistance at 100% cloak, going down to 20% resistance at 0. When you activate it, you get a 3-second speed boost. When you bump into people, when you're invisible, usually you get a little shimmer, like so. But during 3 seconds, you get the speed boost. You don't actually have any bump shimmer. Also, look at this. You can activate it, and then you can completely refill it. So you can actually kind of have a 14-second invis watch coming out of spawn. It's even better if you have the l'étrangère equipped. So you can go out, like take fall damage or something, resupply, then have like a 20-second cloak. That's insane. It's twice as long as stock. Also, on activation, drops a little corpse of yourself. Pretty cool. Don't know where Spy is hiding an entire scale replica of his entire body. Maybe this is just his epidermis and he's shedding it like a snake that he is. But while you are standing still, your cloak regenerates. So you can pop a dead ringer, get your speed boost, then like stand still for a bit, and then just like do it again, which is even better because of the fact that it has a 40% longer cloak duration, which is even longer with the l'étrangère, but it also recharges 150% faster, meaning it recharges fully. Instead of taking 30 seconds, it takes 12. And since activating it only takes half of it away, it'll take 6. It's not bad at all. Now, it would be cool if you could also regenerate it with ammo packs, but you know, that just doesn't work. Sad, but it's fair. Oh, do you want me to show you how fast it would regenerate? So it takes 30 seconds, usually, for it to charge up. It's so slow. Here's how fast it would recharge. That's much better. Much more bearable. Oh my god. Look at it go. Having this host timescale thing all the way up. Now they just look like RPG characters. Turn-based combat when it's not your turn. I want to see how fast I can make this thing spin. It's pretty fast, but it's not fast enough. Oh my god. I need to pull out the big guns. Literally. Oh my god, look at it. Look at it. Look at those lights. That's a seizure warning right there. Look at how fast the Bros Beast fires. Oh my god. Anyways, where were we? Oh yes, the spy. I mean, really, that's all we had to go over here. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.